Today's lesson is on Medicare, and specifically Medicare Part A and Part B. And so we're going to view Medicare as though you have no supplemental coverage. So we're just going to look at basic Medicare Part A and Part B. Now under Part A, it's for hospital and skilled nursing, but we're going to just focus on hospital. And you can go in the hospital for a 60-day stay, which is a long time. Not many people stay in the hospital that long anymore. And your only expense is $1,408 as a deductible in 2020. So in other words, you could go to the hospital, you could spend 3 weeks there, you could have a $100,000 bill, and Medicare is going to pay all but $1,408 of that. And you would be responsible for this. So it's 100% coverage after the deductible, buys you 60 days in the hospital. And if you take a look at that and you say, well, what do I need supplemental insurance for? I could just incur that myself. I've got a bigger deductible than that on my group insurance now. And that is true, but we're only looking at part of the situation, which is Part A. Okay? Now Part B, on the other hand, which is your doctor and outpatient, which is a big part of your bill, even if you're in the hospital. So in that example where you were in the hospital for 3 weeks, if your bill was $100,000, you're going to have probably another $100,000 for all the doctors and all the lab tests and all the things that are billed separately from the hospital bill, and they're going to fall under Part B. Now, for that, you're going to have a smaller deductible, which is $198, and then after the deductible, Medicare is going to pay 80% of the Medicare approved charge. You're going to be responsible for 20% if you have no supplement. And then you look at that and you say, that doesn't sound too bad, until all of a sudden you have $100,000 in Part B coverages, which is a very extreme, and you've been very sick, but it's still very possible and somewhat probable. 20% of $100,000 is $20,000. So there is no cap. Unlike most regular insurance, there's no cap on the 20%. So this is the biggest factor that causes the need for Medicare supplemental insurance or Medigap coverage. So if you put the $1,408 together with the $198 and the 20%, that's what creates the need for supplemental coverage. Now, the supplement, if you buy the right one, is going to pay all of this stuff. And most people that have original Medicare carry a supplement, and they're so happy with the coverage because between the two of them, they work terrific. I've written a couple of books on these subjects. I'm Hans Scheil, and I thank you for listening.